Hey y'all, this is Mr. Pepin, and this is going to be our video lesson for week 2, which is going to focus on subtraction of decimal fractions up to the hundredths place. Before we look at some examples though, let's quickly go over place value with decimal fractions. As always, think of subtraction of decimal fractions like money. The ones place is like the dollar bills, the tenths place is like the dimes because 10 dimes make a dollar. And the hundredths place is like pennies, because 100 pennies make a dollar. $1 is equal to 100 cents, 10 dimes equals 100 cents, and 100 pennies equal 100 cents. So with this example here, we have 4 wholes, 1/10, 2 hundredths, or 4 and 12 hundredths, minus 2 and 80 hundredths. In plain old English, this would be like $4.12 minus $2.80. We can use this graphic here to keep track of our problem. Like we just went over, $1 is equal to 100 cents. There are 100 cubes in one of these squares. So think of one of these squares like $1. After we've drawn our lunch ad bowl columns, of course, because every place value gets its own place, we start with the hundredths. 2 hundredths minus 0 hundredths is, you guessed it, 2 hundredths. After, we move to the tenths place. However, 1/10 is not big enough to take away 8 tenths, so we have to borrow from our neighbor. We take away 1 from the whole group, or the ones place, and we transfer it over to the tenths place. But remember, from the example I used before, if we think of this like neighbors, this neighbor to the left shops at Costco, so 1 package to him is like 10 items to us. So we borrow 1 group, the 4 becomes a 3, and then it becomes 10 items. So the 1/10 plus 10 tenths makes 11 tenths. 1 group, 10 items. 11 tenths minus 8 tenths, now we have enough, is equal to 3 tenths. Last but not least, we move to the wholes. We have 3 wholes left, 3 whole dollar bills left, and we have to take away 2 wholes. 3 minus 2. I think y'all can do the rest. And we are left with an answer of $1.32. Or, if we use place value notation, 1 whole and 32 hundredths. And I just want to point out something here. This graphic forgot a step. I'll see if y'all can find that forgotten step. So there's your example. And for your assignment this week, you're going to go, again, to Google Classroom, Distance Learning, and underneath classwork, you're going to find this assignment, Math Week 2, Decimal Fraction Subtraction. It's going to take you to a Google Slides assignment. It's going to look something like this. Title's going to be Math Assignment to Week 2, April 5th to the 12th. Slides 2 and 3 and 4 are all going to be warm-up activities. 2, 3, and 4. Slide 5, the very last slide, is going to be your mandatory assignment. To give a quick preview, slide 2 is going to be a hands-on activity where you will make different amounts of money. Slide 3 is going to have examples of decimal fraction subtraction. Slide 4 is going to be a word problem involving decimal fraction subtraction. And finally, slide 5 is going to be some extra examples. If you have any questions about this, make sure you sign up for office hours or ask them during our morning meeting. Until then, class, good luck with your assignment. Remember, you have to turn it in before next Sunday.